I hope you're able to join us live and hang out with us. Say hi to the kitty cats. And we'll read a few chapters of the book as well that we've been reading. We might not stay on quite as long as we have been, but I think we'll certainly spend some good amount of time together, and we'll go live, and then we will I will go to the gym after we go live here. So I'm hoping that lots of people are able to join and I can get into my book reading. You can say hi to the cats. Say hi to the kitty cats. We can drink some water. And we can relax, catch up, read the book, and then I can go to the gym. So let me share, make sure that everything is good. Let's see, who is, sorry if I can't, hi there, thank you for joining. Durga Prasad, hi, how are you? How are you doing? I'm just setting everything up. Hi, Kid with Hugh. Hi. We will be reading from the book, and I need to go get some of the books that I know people requested. We'll continue on the same book for today, but just know that I'm working on your requests as well. Thank you for joining. Where is my friend Heike? He has been doing the timestamps for the book, making sure that the chapters and the timestamps are all making sense. So let's see. How do I make sure about knowing which timestamp about the time for myself? Hello, thank you for joining. Type in the chat where you're joining from. Tell us something about you. How is everyone doing today? Hi Just, and how are you? Oh, hi Paula. Oh my gosh, Paula, let me show you. Well, here's Suji. Let me show you Baji before I start reading. Baji, say hi. Say hi. Baji is very tired right now because he just had a little bit of a snack. And hi, Bubble Candy. Hello. I missed you so much. Oh, good to see you here, Paula. Yes, we are live and we are here and we can chat. And, you know, I've been reading from a book lately, so maybe you can say what do you think of that. Yes, Baji is here. He's taking a little nap right now because he just had a little bit of a snack and he is resting. And Suji was upstairs, but she has also kind of come down and gotten settled on the sofa. Perfect timing for the live. So, yeah. Good to see everybody. Please do say hi. Say hi in the chat. Please do say hi in the chat, and I will start reading, but I can see your comments and talk to each other as well. So, if that sounds good, I'll get started. Okay, so answer me this. Who here is 10 years old? Say me. Hi. And also, if you are over 10, say me. If you are under 10, say me. Okay? Yay! Hi, Bubble Candy. Hi, Kenya. Yay, Kenya. Which bracket are you in? Over 10, under 10, exactly 10? That's what I know that 10 is a big common number here. Hi. The person who's just said okay, hello, welcome to the live. I'm over 10. Yay, I have 14. 14! Yes. Bubble Candy's over 10. Sorry, 15. 15. Okay. All right. Who else? All right. Everyone keep chatting with each other. Let me get started with the book so that I can cover a few chapters before we chat again. Fake American Bird. Hi, Sienna. Which one is a fake American bird? I'm not sure I understand, but okay. Also, let me share the live real quick. I don't think I did that. Hi, Sienna. How are you doing today? Okay. Okay. Now is the live shared? I think it is. I'm going to read one chapter and then I'll jump into the comments or the chat again, okay? I'm going to... Hi, Saeed! Hello! Is that Yash? I know that Yash will join under some other names sometimes. So I just want to ask, sorry if you're not Yash. Saeed is also fine. Is it you? It's so exciting that everyone is joining. I'm so happy. I am so very happy. And where is Heike? Where are you, Heike? All right. Chapter 19. Okay, from this book, Every Breath You Take. I'm going to do one chapter and then I'm going to pop back into the chat and we can And we can chat for a little bit before I keep reading, okay? Yay! Awesome. So I think I read up to chapter 18 yesterday, so let me do chapter 19. So, right now, aw, we will miss you. We will miss you, Paula. / just N Brawl. Is that you, Paula? I forget. Okay. Leo checked his watch from the back of the cab. It was 2:32. He was supposed to meet Lori at the Manhattan North Homicide Squad at 3 o'clock. There was a time when he could have used flashing lights on his unmarked car to make it there from the Upper West Side with time to spare. But even with his part-time position with the anti-terrorism task force, he was still a regular civilian when it came to navigating New York City transportation, which meant that he'd left his apartment half an hour earlier. He had eagerly accepted when Lori asked him yesterday if he was willing to meet with the lead detective on the Virginia Wakeling homicide investigation. Leo didn't know Johnny Hun personally, but the detective Leo had called when Lori first mentioned the case to him spoke extremely highly of him. Leo was always happy when Lori's work allowed him to dip a toe back into investigatory waters. Initially, he thought she would be worried that people would think she was relying too much on her daddy. But having a cop on your side comes in handy when talking to other cops, and Lori was too much of a pro to let petty misperceptions keep her from getting the job done. All right. Leo checked his email on his phone. He had spent the first half of his career using a typewriter for police reports. Sorry. He never thought there'd come a day when everyone would walk around with a powerful computer in their pocket. He had a new message from Alex Buckley. The subject line referenced the message Leo had sent to Alex the previous night. Read, "Cheers to your honor." After Leo first met Alex through Lori's show, the two men had socialized regularly, both with Lori and without, primarily to talk sports. Leo could see early on that Alex's interest in Lori wasn't solely professional, and he had watched as Alex had come to care deeply about not only Lori but her son Timmy. He had also seen Lori's feelings change. As much as she had tried to avoid the blurring of Alex's role on her show, she could not ignore the natural connection the two of them shared. When they filmed a special at the famous Grand Victoria Hotel in Palm Beach, Leo had caught a glimpse from his terrace of Lori and Alex having a nightcap, sitting side by side on chaise lounges next to the pool area, no other hotel guests in the vicinity. Lori's intermittent laugh broke over the sounds of ocean waves. Leo hadn't seen his daughter so happy since Greg was alive. When Alex resigned as the show's host, once they ended production, he said it was to focus on his law practice. But Leo was certain that Alex was clearing the path to have a serious relationship with Lori without the complications of working together at the studio. And then the name of one of Alex's former clients had come up with Lori while Lori was investigating her next special. Leo still didn't know all of the details about who said what to whom, but by the time the special was being filmed, Lori had accused Alex of keeping her in the dark about his client, and Alex had come to believe that Lori lacked faith in him. In theory, it was a dispute between a lawyer and a journalist, but it had grown into something much larger. When Leo found Lori crying one night after Timmy went to sleep, all she said was that Alex was gone. Out of respect for Lori, Leo had decided to keep his distance from Alex for the time being, but Yesterday, when he saw the news about Alex's nomination to the federal bench, he started to pick up the phone. Alex was his friend too. He could not let an accomplish like that go unacknowledged. But then he imagined how the call would play out. Leo would say congratulations, Alex would say thank you, and then what? Leo would inevitably pivot to the topic of Lori. He didn't want his daughter to accuse him of meddling. So instead of calling, he had sent a short note from his little gadget. Dear Alex, or should I call you Judge Buckley now? Congratulations on the much deserved recognition. I never thought I'd root for a defense attorney to take the bench, but you're one of the finest men I've ever known. Justice will be well served. Proudly, Leo Farley. Short and sweet. Alex's response was similarly polite. Leo, it's great to hear from you. Thanks for the kind words. Your support means the world to me. Now, if only the U.S. Senate agrees. Best to the whole family, Alex. Leo read the final line of the email, picturing Alex composing it, always so precise with his words. Lori was convinced that Alex had moved on without her. But Leo believed that Alex was still waiting, fingers crossed that Lori would come around. Okay, so that was chapter 19. I'm going to start chapter 20 in just a sec. Is that Suji or Baji? Because I don't know if that... This is Suji. At the window. Is Heike here? He was time stamping. Can someone do the time stamps for the chapters? If someone could do the timestamps for the chapters, that'd be amazing. Starting chapter 20 now. All right. Chapter 20. By the time Lori got to the corner of 133rd Street and Broadway, her father was already standing outside the nondescript, unnamed building that housed the Manhattan North Homicide Squad, talking to a well-dressed Asian American man with slicked back hair and wire-rimmed glasses. Leo waved as he saw her approach, and his new acquaintance offered a hand for a quick shake. They both had their coat collars flipped up against the cold. You must be Lori. I'm Detective Johnny Hunn. Thank you again for taking the time to speak with me, Detective. I'm sorry I kept you in the cold waiting. Not at all. I came down to sneak a smoke before you arrived. Don't tell my wife. I'm supposed to be quitting. She noticed a binder about 4 inches thick, tucked beneath his left arm. I hope you don't mind, but I figured I'd bring the work down to you. Commissioner Farley deserves better treatment than a dusty conference room in need of fresh paint. Her father raised his eyebrows, knowing the description was accurate. I told you to call me Leo, and you're calling the shots, Johnny. Where you go, we follow. A perk of being in Harlem's the food, and I still haven't had lunch thanks to a court hearing that went long. I'm starving. There's a spot called Chinlo's around the corner. Killer tacos, only $3 a pop. Okay, by you? Lori flashed him a thumbs up. She was happy to have a second lunch if Detective Hunn could help her figure out who killed Virginia Wakeling. There's a fly here. Oh. Lols. Hunn's chosen lunch spot was a hole in the wall with fluorescent lights and tile floors, more like a deli than a restaurant, with a counter for ordering and a few tables in the back. But at least this time in the afternoon it was private, pin quiet, and as Hunn promised, served delicious Mexican food. Hunn was adding a generous amount of extra hot sauce to his tacos when he asked about Lori's meeting that morning with the Wakeling family. I'm surprised they even agreed to speak with you. Not only that, they're going to appear on our show. He let out a whistle. Wouldn't have guessed that one. I've watched your show with Alex Buckley, putting suspects in the hot seat and asking hard questions. Man, I'd like to see him make the Wakeling family squirm. We have a new host now, Lori said, trying not to show the emotion in her voice. But yes, we like to think that we're thorough with our interviews. Leo leaned forward toward Hunn. You make it sound as if they've been less than forthcoming with you, Johnny. He shook his head, not in a suspicious way, nothing like that, but all three of them, the son, the daughter, the son-in-law, are hell-bent on seeing Ivan Gray behind bars. if you ask them any question other than just how guilty do you think your mom's boyfriend is, they get impatient, like you're nosing around in their business. Lori remembered the certainty in Anna's voice when she repeatedly accused Ivan of her mother's murder. Ivan thinks one or more of them killed Mrs. Wakeling because she was planning to change her will. According to Ivan, she was leaning toward leaving almost everything to charity. The kids would still have the business, but they'd need to accumulate their own wealth. Oh my gosh. 1 second. I may need to kill this fly myself. Give me 1 second. Good job, Fuji. Good job. You slowed it down. Good job. Oh, good job. Yes. Fuji. Fuji's slowed down the fly. Okay, but I don't. Oh, good. Fuji has done a great job killing the fly. / slowing it down. Where are you, fly? Oh, oh my god. I don't want them to have to eat this dirty fly. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, guys. This is very important. That was amazing, Fuji. You absolutely slowed that fly down. That was lovely. As in, I was able to smack it because it was slowed down appropriately. Oh my god. Heike! Where were you? I have school tomorrow. I only have 20 minutes to stay at the live, but I'll come back when you're live again. Okay. Stay as long as you can. Sorry about fly killing. We are reading. Which chapter are we on? We're on chapter 20. Fuji absolutely helped to slow the fly down. Oh my god, I see the fly. Oh my god, it's on the curtain. Okay, 1 second, guys. 1 second. Oh my god. Okay, it's still flying around, and I need to kill it because otherwise the kitty cats might get into it, and that's not a good thing. 1 second. Where did it go? Shoot. Okay, I think it flew away. All right. Suji. I scared the cats away too with all my fly killing. They're around. They're just waiting for me to finish. Okay, sorry about that. Let me keep reading. Suji. Okay, Ivan thinks one or more of them killed Mrs. Wakeling because she was planning to change her will. According to Ivan, she was leaning toward leaving almost everything to charity. The kids would still have the business, but they'd need to accumulate their own wealth. Johnny Han was nodding, clearly already familiar with the theory. Problem is, until we develop a way to speak to the dead, we have no way of knowing her intentions. What we have is the will that was put into probate when she died. Ivan says she was talking about changing it, but no one backed him up on that. I called the lawyer who wrote the will. He said he hadn't spoken to Mrs. Wakeling for at least a year. Anna's husband, Peter, was the executor of the estate, and by all accounts, a trusted advisor. Lori said. When I asked him whether Virginia mentioned changing her will, he claimed attorney-client privilege. The two of them finished the sentence in unison. I can understand why Virginia Wakeling would find it awkward to talk to her attorney about changing her will, Leo observed. Her executor was her son-in-law. In a sense, she would have been telling him that instead of the money going to his family, the Wakeling fortune would be left to charity. Maybe that's why she never got around to making the change, Hun added. Or maybe she was prevented from going through with it, Lori opined. Sorry. Lori broke the brief silence that followed. You seem pretty confident that the only thing I'm doing is duplicating work you finished 3 years ago. I've got no big ego about these things, Lori. I want answers whether they come from me or from a television program like yours, Hun said. It's a little funny to hear about you walking through the same exact steps I took. He looked at Leo. You've been in police work most of your life. You know how some cases are. My 9-year-old son can't wait to join the police force. Lori smiled. He told us he was planning to get the records of unsolved cases and solve them one by one. The Farley name goes on, Hun said. Anyway, the son-in-law Peter remained poker-faced when I asked him about impending changes to the will. That didn't seem suspicious to you? Hun shrugged. I figure someone willing to kill their mom or mother-in-law for money would just as soon lie and tell me absolutely not. She'd never change her will. I think Anna and Peter are all about protecting the Wakeling name. If Mrs. Wakeling was going to change the will, they may not want the public to know about it. Their fortune would seem like ill-gotten gains, so to speak. So if they don't think it's relevant to her murder, they find a way not to talk about it. This is what I meant when I said it would be interesting to see them getting cross-examined on TV. But you didn't consider them suspects? Leo asked. Technically, everyone's conceivably a suspect until the case is solved, Hun said matter-of-factly. They don't have alibis, right? Lori asked. Sorry, 1 second. No. Multiple witnesses placed them all in the main hall when rumors began to spread about a death. But anyone could have made it from the roof back down to the crowd very quickly. Anna said she had gone to the ladies' room and Peter and Carter were both working their way around the crowd, saying hello to various guests. It was impossible to pin down anyone's location to the very second. Did someone explain to you that the video cameras were down that night for servicing? What are alibis? So alibi is somebody who can say someone who can confirm that you were where you were, so that if you're a murder suspect, maybe somebody can kind of vouch for you. That's what an alibi is. Lori nodded. I met with the head of museum security yesterday, a guy named Sean Duncan. He's a good man, runs a tight ship there, Hun said emphatically. Unfortunately, he didn't have much first-hand interaction with the Wakelings on the night of the gala. The guard assigned as Virginia Wakeling's contact no longer works there. His name is Marco Nelson. I assume, here's the fly again. I assume you must have interviewed him, Lori asked. Oh, sure, he was the last one to see Mrs. Wakeling alive, other than her killer, of course. I was surprised when the Met let him go. He was fired? Lori exclaimed. Sean made it sound like Nelson had moved on to the private security where he could make more money. Fuji. No, Fuji. Fuji. Hi, Fuji. Hi. I'm sorry. Fuji is feeling left out. He also wants extra snacks. Hi, Baji. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, there's a huge fly here. Okay. All right, guys. I need to take care of this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, this fly is humongous. Oh my god, it's huge. Okay. It's still alive somehow. It's huge. Is there another fly? Is there another fly? Do I hear another fly? It's because of the window. Oh god. I have holes in the screen. I know, Baji looks very cute when he's sleeping. Okay, let me turn the air on instead of having the window open. Sorry for all the fly interruptions. Okay. He is cute. I'm just a little disbelieving about the fly being dead. Maybe it's pretending. This was a joint effort. Fuji and I both killed the fly. Okay. He was fired, Laurie exclaimed. Sean made it sound like Nelson had moved on to private security where he could make more money. Oh, I don't doubt it, but he was encouraged to look elsewhere. Bob Grundle, that was Sean's predecessor as the head of security, told me Marco was suspected of stealing high-end merchandise from the museum's retail store. Apparently, he was dating one of the assistant managers and had a tendency to sign up for purse-checking duty on nights when she was working. The theory is she was sneaking items out under his watch. A straight arrow like Sean would probably set up a sting operation and build a case. The former boss played his hunch by giving both of them a warning they might want to look for work elsewhere. Or at least that's what I'm told. Han shrugged, knowing that he was repeating gossip he'd learned on the job. This is the book. You said before that Marco was the last to see Mrs. Wakeling, except for her killer, Leo said. Is there a reason you used the singular of that word? Is it possible more than one person was involved? I should have said killer or killers. Correction duly noted. Han looked at Laurie. You have a theory? As you said, everyone's a suspect, but I saw the roof. It's highly unlikely a woman would have had the strength to push Mrs. Wakeling over that wide ledge. Push may not even be the right word to describe what happened. That railing is 3.5 feet high, and there is... One second as I turn the page. There is shrubbery on the other side of it. Whoever did this pushed her over the railing and then shoved her off the shrubbery. Or she was lifted up and thrown over in one motion. But I suppose if either Anna or Virginia's assistant Penny were involved, they could have had a male accomplice. You're casting a wide net, the personal assistant? Han asked. Ivan thinks Penny may have been worried about getting fired if Virginia and Ivan had gotten married. He apparently had... Oh God, 1 second. I think the fly is not dead. I just looked over and it looks very alive. Okay. Ivan thinks Penny may have been worried about getting fired if Virginia and Ivan had gotten married. He apparently had strong thoughts about her work ethic or lack thereof, And my understanding is that she did inherit under the will. He didn't understand why Penny didn't defend him to the police. According to him, she was in a position to know they were a happy couple and that he wasn't using Ginny for money. And by the way, Ivan called Mrs. Wakeling Ginny, Laurie said, her tone reflective. Well, he's right about one thing. That is definitely not the impression that Penny gave us. She was right in step with the rest of the family. She said that Ivan was in a rush to get married, and she thought it obvious that his motives were financial. Even if he had signed a prenuptial agreement, he would have been far more comfortable as Mr. Virginia Wakeling than as a personal trainer. Hun replied, maybe she was just backing up the Wakeling family because she wanted to stay in their employ, Leo suggested. Or, here's a simpler theory. Maybe all of them were telling the truth about Ivan. He was using that woman for her money, and when she found out that he was stealing from her, she was going to expose him, Han suggested. Laurie was all the more certain that they needed to find Mrs. Wakeling's former assistant before they started filming. We haven't been able to locate Penny. Can you help with that by any chance? Last time I spoke to her, she was working at Wakeling Development. Not anymore. Afraid I can't help you then. Detective Han was already doing her father a favor by even meeting with her. She couldn't expect him to turn over private location information about a citizen for her. What about the nephew, Tom Wakeling? Did you look into him? Han wiped his hands on paper napkins as he finished his last bite of food before answering. Oh, I went there all right. No matter how hard he tried to hide it, it was real clear to me that he resented the rich half of that family. He said he went to the gala that night to impress his date, but I wouldn't be surprised if he sort of enjoyed making his fancy aunt and cousins uncomfortable by bringing a date who clearly did not fit in. I take it the feeling was mutual. As I recall, he only inherited $50,000 from his aunt. Not exactly nothing, but more like pocket change given the fortune at stake. He told me this morning that they're all one big happy family now, Laurie said. Han rolled his eyes. Look at it this way. Your uncle makes a fortune off an idea that also belonged to your father, and you don't get a piece of the action, whether he shows it or not. No way that didn't get under his skin. And yet, I never heard one word about him until I started digging into this case. Why was Ivan a suspect and not Tom? Laurie asked. Because Tom was the one member of that family who had an actual alibi. Unlike his cousins, he wasn't mingling around in a crowd. He was with his date the entire time. This is Tiffany Simon, Leo inquired. Han nodded. That's the one. She provided a detailed alibi at the time of the murder. Apparently, the party was a bit stuffy for her tastes, so they snuck up to the second floor to poke around in the empty galleries. It was actually pretty cute. She said they were checking out all those stodgy old formal portraits on the second floor, mimicking their stilted poses and forced facial expressions. I confess, the next time I went to the museum with my teenagers, we gave it a try. Pretty entertaining if you're not a big art aficionado. I don't know what that word is. Aficionado. Couldn't Tom have asked her to lie to keep him out of trouble? Leo asked, frowning in concentration. Except their versions of the story lined up perfectly, Han pointed out. Some old general looked like Brad Pitt, an Italian heiress looked like Cher. Highly unlikely they cooked that up out of thin air. Besides, it was only their second date. Hard to imagine she'd lied to homicide detectives when they weren't even a serious relationship. Good luck with your show, Laurie, but I'll make a bet with you. Come back here when it's all said and done, and you're going to agree with me about who killed Virginia Wakeling. Oh, you have to go? Okay. My TikTok is Boston Girl. See ya. See you tomorrow. You're going to agree with me about who killed Virginia Wakeling. Ivan Gray? He's the guy. Talk is on me if you prove me wrong. Laurie noticed Han glance at his watch and could sense that he was ready to wrap things up. I'll kick myself later if I don't ask you about that notebook, detective. Any chance it's about the Wakeling case? Better than a chance. He slid the binder across the table. I had to redact a few names and numbers under privacy laws, but otherwise that's everything I've got. My investigation is your investigation. She began flipping through the pages. Virginia Wakeling's will. Crime scene photos. Police reports. I don't know how to thank you. De nada. There's not a cop on the job who doesn't look up to your father, Laurie, and maybe you and your TV show can shake something loose after all this time. It'd be nice to see Ivan Gray behind bars at last. If he's guilty. Oh, he's guilty, all right. It takes a certain kind of cruelty to kill a woman who loves you. There's not a question in my mind that he'd hurt a complete stranger like you if he thinks you're breaking new ground. Be careful, Laurie. All right, that was the end of chapter 20. Wow. So they just met with the cop who had investigated that case, and he also thinks it's Ivan Gray, the boyfriend of Virginia. That's the gist of it. Cop thinks it is Ivan. Let me go get some hand sanitizer real quick. Actually, let me do one more thing. Let me get some paper towel. Throw away the dead body of the fly. There's a murder happening here as well. Oh my God, the fly! Ah! The fly was alive! The fly was alive! I just killed it now, I think. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I'm so sorry. I've had to kill a fly during this murder mystery reading. But I was about to pick up its body and throw it out, but it was still alive. Ah! I'm so creeped out. I'm so creeped out. Okay. Okay. Are you dead now, fly? Are you dead now? Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Alright. I'm just leaving it like that now. Washing my hands. water. We're in between chapters. We're gonna start chapter 21 now. Yeah, many detective movies, it is like a surprise. Yeah. Yes, I love Hercule Poirot and Miss Marple. I'm a big Agatha Christie fan, like she's my favorite, but I had not read much of Mary Higgins Clark, so that's why I picked this up as like a something different. Thank you for joining. All right, let's do the next chapter. All right. Chapter 21 now. Let me show you Baji as well. 30-year-old Penny Rolling completed one last walkthrough of the apartment. The property listing described a chicly renovated, turnkey-ready 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo in the heart of the West Village, featuring a spectacular sunset view over the Hudson River. In reality, the 3rd bedroom was a cubbyhole at best, used by the current owner as a tiny home office. The chic renovations used the kind of inexpensive but trendy finishings that inexperienced buyers easily mistook for high-end, and the view was from a single living room window, and only if one leaned a bit to the side to glance around a neighboring building. Given what she had to work with, however, Penny thought the place was ready to show. Just as she knew what kinds of words to use in a listing to please her employer, she had mastered the finishing touches of staging an apartment for potential buyers. With the seller's permission, she had placed all clutter and personal mementos in clear plastic boxes that could be stored neatly beneath the bed in the master suite. Fresh flowers, a mix of lilies and roses were the best assortment at the corner delicatessen had been arranged. I have to sneeze. Had been arranged in a crystal vase on the dining room table. Every room looked like a page out of a modern furniture catalog. She removed the stack of flyers she had printed out with details about the apartment and placed them neatly next to the vase of flowers. She stopped and looked at the lower right-hand corner of the printout, trying not to feel resentful. The woman pictured there was Hannah Perkins, a member of the firm's elite titanium club, for agents who had sold at least $100 million of real estate in the preceding year. Wow, agents who had sold at least $100 million of real estate. Goodness, that's something. All on the backs of minions like me, Penny thought bitterly. Penny was more than halfway done with the 75 hours of training she needed to sit for the exam to get a New York State realtor's license. In the meantime, she made $20 an hour as an assistant, answering Hannah's calls, printing out contract documents, preparing flyers, scheduling appointments, arranging appraisals, organizing co-op packages, and yes, cleaning a lazy seller's cluttered home. Basically all the work except negotiating a selling price and cashing that big commission check at closing. Someday I'll be the star of the agency, she promised herself. Glancing in the mirror, she smiled as she took in her newly styled black hair. She had recently taken a friend's advice to try a chin length, layered bob and knew it accentuated her bright blue eyes. The new expensive but on sale Ascata slacks and jacket were a perfect fit now that she had managed to take off 10 pounds. I took a titanium realtor, she thought proudly as she locked the apartment door behind her. Or, sorry, I look a titanium realtor. Okay, I didn't know that realtors could be titanium. She was stepping into the building's lobby when her cell phone chirped in her purse. Under Hannah's orders, she no longer used the cheery pop song ringtones she had previously favored. No offense, Penny, but no one takes a woman seriously when her phone sounds like it belongs to a teeny bopper. Teeny bopper. Penny looked at the screen, expecting to see Hannah's name there, micromanaging her as usual. Her heart nearly stopped when she saw the number. Nearly 3 years later, and she still recognized it. Her finger lingered over the screen, knowing that she should decline the call. Nothing good could come of this, but just as her memory still knew that number, the person on the other end of the line still apparently had some amount of control over her. Hello? You didn't change your number. No, I changed everything else, but not that. Are you okay? I'm a real estate agent now, she said before realizing how silly it was to lie. He, of all people, would be able to check if he were inclined to do so. Well, almost. Sorry. I'm gonna sit. Well, almost. I'm about to take the exam. That was just an embellishment on the actual timing and not nearly so easy to disprove. Okay. Sorry, something else was flying around. Congratulations, I'm proud of you. She swallowed hard, not wanting him to know how much she still cared about his opinion of her. If I had been a member of the Titanium Club, would I have been good enough for you and your precious family? She wondered. Probably not. Why are you calling? She asked. Her voice sounded chilly, even though her skin felt on fire. Have you been contacted by a television show called Under Suspicion? The producer is a woman named Lori Moran. I know the show, but no, they haven't contacted me. Why would they? Oh, she said, connecting the dots. Yeah, I guess it was only a matter of time before the media circus came back around. They'll probably contact you at some point. Why? I was only the assistant. You were more than that, always. And you were there that night. Plus you knew Ivan. Arguably better than any of us. Ivan. How many times had she been tempted to walk in when she passed his gym? But he had moved on, just as she had. Maybe she would see him again after she had her license, so he'd know that she had found that work ethic he was always lecturing her about. So that's the only reason you're calling? She asked. Fine. Thanks for the heads up. What are you going to tell them? What do you mean? If the show contacts you, I mean, you don't even have to talk to them. You know that, right? You could just ignore them. And how's that going to look? Like you want to keep your privacy? Whatever excuse you can come up with for not doing it. Once again, he was only thinking about himself. He never cared about her. Not then and not now. Thanks again for the call. She hung up without waiting for him to say goodbye. As she walked to the West 4th Street subway station, she found herself wondering how long it would take for a television program like Under Suspicion to get on the air. If the timings worked out, she might be a full-fledged agent by then. having her name emblazoned across the bottom of television screens across the country wouldn't be a bad way to launch a career in New York City real estate, and it would be a chance to show off to the Wakelings. Titanium Club, here I come. All right, that was chapter 21. That was Penny. She wants to be a famous realtor. That was chapter 21. I think we will pick up chapter 22 next time. So I'll just chat for a little bit now, but chapter 21 is done. Penny, who wants to be titanium real estate agent and used to be the assistant of the dead woman. We will do chapter 22 next time. How is everyone doing? Let's chat real quick and then I can catch you again tomorrow. So we just finished chapter 21 and I put in the information in the comments here in the chat here. How are you doing? Sorry about all the fly action. Please like, share, subscribe. Like and share the live if you can so that people can see it when the video uploads after some time. It'll finish uploading. Is there a fly there, Fuji? I don't know. Fuji has been helping tremendously with all the killings of the flies. Thank you for reading here. All okay, flies. Thank you, Heike. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing all the timestamps. Thank you for working so hard for the live from yesterday. If you wouldn't mind, if you have time to do the timestamps for this one too, that would be amazing. Cats are best to catch flies. Yes. Actually, speaking of which, I'm wondering if we can put like timestamps relative to the video time. When the video posts for the live replay, if we could put timestamps that are like within the video, you know, like for example, right now in the video, yes, I make stamps. Okay, thank you so much, Heike. Thank you so much for working so hard on the timestamps. I really appreciate it. If you could use like the video's time, you know, like at 29 minutes in the video, say, as an example, it starts like some chapter, you know, instead of like the absolute time of the day, maybe we could put it as like relative to the video's start time. And then I think it becomes a link in the comments, the time stamp. And then people can actually just skip to that part of the video if they would like when it posts later on the channel, when it like uploads finally as a video. I think that would be super duper helpful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Whenever you have a chance, if you could do the timestamps as like this time for the video, like the relative to the start of the video. Thank you. Thank you for joining, everybody. Say hi to Baji. Baji says hi. Baji. Baji. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Baji's fast asleep. Oh, look at Baji's feetsy. Baji. All right, I'm gonna scratches. Yes. I'm gonna wrap this up and go to the gym. See you again tomorrow, because tomorrow's a holiday. I'll be on doing a live again tomorrow. I'll be on again tomorrow. Hi, Baji. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. What's up, Fuji? Is there a fly? What's up? What is it, Fuji? What is it, Fuji? Is there a fly up there? Is that what you're crying? Baji, your papa. I think I read up to chapter 21 today, right? Maybe put that in the comments too for the video so that I know where to pick up tomorrow. Thank you so much for your support and help. Thank you, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I think Suji went upstairs because I disturbed her too much with my fly killing. Usually she's down here. Alright, guys, bye. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.